Good morning and welcome to the Forex Daily Update, brought to you by Pepperstone on Friday the 10th of November 2017. I'm Darren Sinden and you can follow me on Twitter throughout the day by using @ds_Pepperstone. Right, overnight changes in price moves to be aware of. Slim pickings again today, I'm afraid. You can see that we've very little movement of note. That's either on a daily or weekly number. I will just flag moves in dollar Indian rupee and the dollar versus the Korean won. They're sort of the standout moves such as they are. But let's look at something of interest on a longer term. In chart of the day here, I plotted spot silver over the last couple of years. Turns out that silver has been the worst performing asset in the year since Donald Trump won the US presidential election. Exactly why that should be, I'm not quite clear about, but it's one to be aware of and perhaps one to look to if you're a contrarian, maybe expecting a reversal of fortune in the new year. Okay, what's on the calendar? Events that may move the markets today. We've already heard from the Reserve Bank of Australia on its monetary policy statement and report, so we'll look at that in a bit more detail momentarily. To come at 7:45, we'll have industrial output data from France, and then at 9 o'clock, industrial output data for September out of Italy. 9:30 sees the release of a raft of data out of the UK, manufacturing production, industrial production, and trade balance data for September. And we fast forward to 3 o'clock this afternoon GMT, and we have the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index for November out in the States. That's followed at 5 o'clock by the influential Baker Hughes US oil rig count, and to round off the week at 19:30 the CFTC Commitment of Traders reports. Right, breaking news and comment that's caught my eye overnight. The US and Japanese equities both closed lower on the session yesterday. China is to allow foreign ownership of local finance businesses. That's a change from the current regulation, and one that will pique interest, I'm sure, amongst businesses far and wide. The Philippines, export and import growth slowed during September. Even Asian tigers can have an off day, it seems. And the Reserve Bank of Australia lowers its inflation forecast in its monetary policy report and says it's unsure how fast wages will rise in the country, denting hopes of any kind of early rate rise in Australia there, I would suggest. Right, food for thought, something to take away with you into the trading day and to the weekend. And why not think about this? As we know, we live in an ageing world and we will shortly pass peak youth, where the number of over 60s is much greater than the number of under 5s coming up. And yet one region is growing much quicker, or growing older much quicker I should say, and it is one of our most populous in East Asia. And this is creating massive demographic challenges for the regions and for the world as a whole. Just for the avoidance of doubt, East Asia includes China, Hong Kong, Japan, North and South Korea, Mongolia, Macau and Taiwan. And you can see how rapidly East Asia is aging here compared to the rest of the world. Right, please take a moment to read the risk warning. Trading CFDs and FX on margin can be a risky business. If you're in any doubt about those risks or have any other questions, then please do contact your Pepperstone account representative.